Back here inside Studio J, Ernie Johnson with Shaq, Jalen Rose, and Charles Barkley. This was an emphatic statement by the New York Knicks, Jalen.
Absolutely, and everybody that got an opportunity to play minutes played well, and they contributed. And the difference, Castle, when he was on Brunson the first 10 minutes of the game, he was 0 for 1 and had 0 points. All of a sudden, he goes out of the game, Brunson gets hot, New York gets on a bunch of big runs. The three-point shooting, Karl Anthony Towns was hustling on the board, so was Hart, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges. It was a team win at home.
Absolutely. Only guy you didn't mention also had a big game, Mohamed Diawara. It was top to bottom a great effort.
Yeah, great effort, well-balanced attack by the Knicks. Everybody in the starting five in double figures. You know, Karl Anthony Towns didn't play great offensively, but he did a great job on the offensive rebounds when they had a smaller guy on him, moving him out the way, going to the board. So great job by the Knicks.
We have like 21 seconds left, Chuck. I did that by design.
Yeah, great strategy. They attacked
by me or
by the Knicks.
Okay.
Yeah, great strategy by you.
Now we're down to 13 seconds.
Now we can see that was a great
run by the home team that turned the tide of this game. San Antonio's 12-point lead vanished. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks leading by 10 at the break after leading by as many as 16. Not enough numbers for you? Good. Happy to be here. It's the halftime report presented by Tremfya, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal. Jalen Rose is in here for Kenny the Jet Smith and Charles Barkley down here. This is, you know what? For a game that was double digits and like plus 16 in the first half, it's been a good watch.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a game, and I love the strategy they got going on. You know, most of the NBA today, like, let's just go out there and shoot a bunch of threes, and if we make them, we look good. If we miss them, we don't. You know, they're really attacking Victor in the half court because my thing was, if I'm an NBA player, you should have tremendous confidence. You make that NBA, you're a heck of a player. It's an insult to me thinking one guy can guard me. And the way the Spurs play, they got so many great perimeter defenders. They press everything up and find everything. He's out there like running lot. Troy Polamalu back there playing safety, blocking everything. But they putting him in the pick and roll every single time. The Spurs tried to hide him too. They put him on Hart.
Yep.
But Shaq, I know you don't. Karl Anthony doesn't have great numbers. This is one of the best games I've seen him play because now he's offensive rebounding. Because they got a little guy on him. He's posting up, which I love. But he should be able to kill the guy on the offensive rebound. He's got 2 offensive fouls, too. So that was a great half of basketball.
Shaq will get into the Karl Anthony Towns first half in a second. First, the halftime highlights presented by Tremfya, the San Antonio team with an 11-game winning streak coming in, but only shooting 37%. Season low 41 first half points for the Spurs. And Jalen, as far as Jalen Brunson goes, tough start. Stephon Castle was all over him. He couldn't score, and then he figured it out.
Shaq.
Yeah.
I ain't even going. I told him I wasn't going.
And he believed you.
So it was a tale of with Castle and without. Here you see Dylan Harper doing a really good job of frustrating Jalen Brunson. But now all of a sudden, Jalen Brunson catches a rhythm. And find a way to get yourself going in a rhythm as the quarter progresses. So again, when Castle was in the game, Brunson had 0 buckets, Ernie. He goes out of the game, Brunson and the Knicks get hot, and now they have a big lead at the half.
Yeah, he scored the last 11 of the first quarter, has 16 at the half on 5 out of 10 shooting and 3 out of 4 from deep. Meantime, Karl Anthony Towns, 7.6 rebounds, but I know his impact goes beyond that.
Yeah, he's playing a solid game. You know, this message is more for Karl to do that, and the guy was on him because he could shoot the three. Not playing a great game, not playing a bad game, but the Knicks are up, so I'm happy.
But as Chuck said, as good a game as you've seen from him lately.
You know, when I said something a couple weeks ago, it's all about the matchups. I ain't never gonna let no little guy play me, especially if I'm 7 feet tall. Like, if he can't keep me off the board, and if I go in the post, they're going to have to double. If you look at one of Shaq's pitches, that's why OG got the wide open jumper, because Wemby had to come over. See, today's NBA game, I think they never think about, maybe we should take advantage of a mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, guys get mad at me and Shaq. We're not saying go down there and go down in the post and live in the post. If you're a good three-point shooter, that's fine if you're a big guy. but don't ever let them put them little munchkins on your ass, ever.
Keep this in mind, too, on the New York Knicks defense as they hold San Antonio to 41 in the first half. Last 17 games, the Knicks have won 13 of those 17 and have had the #1 defensive rating in the NBA. You're seeing that tonight as they hold San Antonio to 37% shooting.
Hey, Chuck D, you know, favorite of all time, Public Enemy.
Yes. How low can you go?
Uncle Chuck.
Hey.
Simple and plain. Give me the lane.
Hey.
I throw it down like
Anthony Edwards, who you'll see later today here on ABC, he's scoring 30 a night, which is 3rd in the league. His scoring has increased every year of his career. He's developed a clutch game as well, as you can see from that graphic right there. And he came up clutch again the other night against the Clippers. The 3-ball late in a 94-88 win.
That's a tough shot right there.
That's a tough shot. And here's the deal. His relationship with Chris Finch, their head coach. Listen to this.
Some people gonna say I should pass the ball. I'll be all right. Yeah, I think you got a better chance of winning if I shoot it.
What's your coach want to go?
Me and my coach got the best relationship ever. So I mean, he'd be right most of the time. Well, 98% of the time, he'd be right. He told me to pass the ball tonight, and I should have passed it, but I shot it instead, and it went in. So the basketball guys was on my side tonight.
The thing when I looked at all of that, and I said, I can't wait for these guys to weigh in about the player-coach kind of relationship here. Like Mike Conley says, look, Finchy and Ant-Man go at it every day. It's just when you think they're going to swing, and then they hug it out at the end of the day. Get into that a little bit. And Shaq, I mean, who have you gone head to head with coaches, and how does it turn out?
It's one word that must play a factor. It's respect. They come respectfully. We come respectfully. It doesn't matter what's said as long as the job gets done. I've seen that before. I've been involved with that, but I like playing with a guy like that. Kobe was like that. D-Wade was like that. Penny Hardaway was like that. You need that guy that says, hey, man, I'm taking the last shot. I don't care what nobody says. But again, as long as it's respectfully, it doesn't matter. It only got out of hand one time. I was disrespectful.
Oh, I'm all ears.
I was disrespectful one time, and the next day I woke up in Phoenix. So, but other than that, me and Phil Jackson, we went at it respectfully, and, at the end of the day, we hugged because, we all want the same thing. We want to get to that next level and win this championship. So, to sit here and say that never happens, I've never seen it not happen. I've seen, Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, go at Dale Brown. Me and Dale Brown had a couple altercations. Me and my good friend Brian Hill had a couple altercations, but
is this one-on-one, or is this in front of a team, or is this in a huddle, and how high volume is it?
One-on-one most of the time, but a lot of time it's in front of the huddle. So, but again, if things are said, you don't want to go too disrespectful if it's in front of the team. But I've had meetings with me and Phil, and he'd say some things, I'd say some things, and then at the end of the day, we're on the same page. So, a lot of people are going to look at this and say, oh, you should blah, 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 and do this and do that. But unless you're in that situation, you don't really know what goes on and what it takes to get to that next level. But again, it has to be respectful, because once you start going disrespectful, then you lose the team.
Chuckster, Jimmy Lynam, Paul Westphal, Rudy Tomjanovich, got any stories?
Yeah, I think Anthony has to be careful, because when you talk about the greatest players ever, we're talking about San Antonio. Coach Popovich, you talk to the players of Spurs, like, he got on everybody's case, especially the great players, because Anthony's a great player. But if Anthony's not going to listen to the coach, he kind of handicaps the coach, because the other players are watching. Like, you let Anthony do stuff, you can't talk to me. I did the same thing Anthony did. That's the danger Anthony has to, because the coach is trying to win. First of all, that worked. That doesn't mean it was a good shot just because it worked.
It was a tough one.
Yeah, but he's trying to shoot over two guys. He probably should have passed the ball. LeBron always talks about, I want to make the right basketball play. But the problem with Anthony has to be careful of, and this is the dangerous part, Ernie. Like, Ernie, let's say me, Shaq, and Jalen. You're the leader of our show. If Shaq do something and you let him get away with it, and me and Jalen do it, and you yell at us, we ain't gonna respect you. And the players are watching. That's the only problem with that situation. Like I say, Anthony's a hell of a player. But
what's your personal experience with it in your career?
As a coach, I understand what I did was wrong, but I understand it because Billy Cunningham's the best coach I ever played for. And like that goes back to my point. Like, you can't yell at other guys because players all do the same thing. Other guys take bad shots too. But if I let Anthony take bad shots, I'm not saying that whatever, but I'm saying if Anthony take bad shots and I don't say something to him, if Jalen take a shot, and Jalen's in his feelings too, like, Anthony took the same shot last game. You didn't say nothing to him.
Yeah.
I feel like what can't get lost is the responsibility of a great player. Like, these guys are Hall of Famers and two of the best that ever done it. But one of the greatest things you guys actually did was make people around you better. What Michael Jordan did for the modern era make people now believe the only way to show your killer instinct is to make the game-winning shot. And there are a lot of big-time plays that happen throughout the game that determine who wins or loses. And that was a low percentage shot he just took. And if that was Game 7 of a playoff game and he would have missed that, he would have got criticized. And the other thing, I was never good enough to be in position like a Shaq to yell at a player because I would have got traded like you got traded when you did it. But I don't like to see those displays publicly because of what Chuck said. It shows a level of disrespect. Our families are watching, the audience is watching, the media is watching, and the other 14 guys are watching. And you just can't allow that to continue to be a trend, especially from your
Chuck, question. If you're the guy, aren't you allowed to take those shots if you're the guy?
But that's only a good shot because it worked. That's a bad shot. So Jimmy Johnson and Tony Dungy always talked about, I treat everybody fair. Herm would say the same thing. I don't treat everybody the same.
Right.
He said, I treat everybody fair, but I don't treat everybody the same. Because there was a line, Jimmy Johnson one time, a kid fell asleep in a meeting, and Jimmy Jackson cut him. He said, I cut him because he fell asleep in the meeting. He said, what if it had been Troy, Emmett, or Mike Irvin? He said, I'd have woke them up. Because Shaq and Jalen, all players, stars get treated differently.
Yeah.
But a coach's responsibility is to treat everybody fair, but we don't treat everybody